Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I am Starco Gaming and we are back with another Dragon Champion video. Guys, if you are level 15 or below, make sure to use the promo code Starco to get a free starter pack. To do so, it is pretty simple, guys. You go in the settings, use promo code, and you enter the code Starco, S-T-A-R-K-O. You press OK and you will receive your free starter pack. And hopefully you guys will enjoy the goodies. So guys, today, well, we're going to be talking about Nessa, the upcoming characters that you guys will be able to get shards or arrow stones, whatever you want to call it, from the Fire Day work. Actually, there's a few people that's going to have her at 7 stars. Like, how many people? 3 people will have her at 7 stars. So we're going to be taking a look at her. Is she's going to be good, bad, ugly? Well, she's gonna be ugly, that's for sure, because she is ugly. Damn. Well, I mean, she is cool looking, it's just ugly. So we're gonna be taking a look at her kit, the preferred team to actually run her with. Personally, I like to keep, when I do testing on the test server, I like to keep it in the family. So we actually set up a whole pride team around her. So the pride team we're actually using with her is Nessa lead with Wukong, Yogi, Salvador, and the Vorian, the Trickster. It's actually interesting to see that now Yogi and the Vorian, especially where they're a little rework and ability level 7, are actually be put in a team with another character. So they actually not that trashy anymore, which is actually pretty great. And you're gonna see this team will be doing some good performance. We're gonna be testing this team in both arena and tier 9 raids. We're gonna have a little idea of what kind of damage and survivability they can have together. But what we're really gonna be paying attention in this video, guys, is Nessa, obviously. And obviously also, guys, we could definitely drop Salvador with this team, because we do have Wukong that can actually be considered a tank, and we can actually bring another DPS in this team, or somebody like Eric Shieldbreaker or Arduck in this team without a problems. But like I said, I want to stay in the family, and none of the other pride really fit the bill here. If we look at the other pride, guys, none of them actually fit the bill to actually be put in this team. Now, if I were to put one of them in this team instead of Salvador, so we can actually keep Salvador, you know, we can go Hera, Boreas, Renara, Salvador, and Kagi in one team, when I will actually take a Revol and I will put him in this team instead of Salvador, obviously. But anyway, I end up talking about team, guys. Let's jump into the character, and this is very nice. She has a leadership, which is actually a pretty awesome leadership, which is kind of why I like to have Salvador with her. Not only she gets synergy with Salvador, but also that leadership is pretty awesome. So if we take a look at the leadership here, it's Ophia Fagus Anna. Hopefully I'm not murdering this word too much. All prime members gain 20% tenacity, which is actually pretty awesome. And at the start of the battle, all prime members gain a shield equal to 20% of their HP. Also, at the start of the battle, inflict poison for 2 turns to all enemies, which is actually pretty outstanding. And that leadership is great. If you actually lose, you put that leadership to level 5, you lose so much. You lose 5% tenacity on every prime members and 5% shield at the start of battle, and your poison only lasts 1 turn. So that leadership at level 6 is going to be a must-have, and I do believe that this leadership is much better than the Revol leadership. I don't know what you guys think, but I do believe this is much better. Now, if we look at the other skills, we have first the passive ability, which is Wisdom of a Snake. Nessa gained 12% increase of magic damage and potency for each alive pride member. So put her in a pride team, and that's gonna give her a shit ton of potency. Like here, 12%, 5 prides member, that is 60%, if my maths are right. So if you take her potency, that is 123%. Here he had that 60%, that gives her 183% potency right off the bat. That is actually pretty damn crazy. And also, if Nessa takes damage that drops her L below 100%, Salvador lose all is debuff and gain a talent for 2 turns. This is quite crazy. Now if you do not plan to run Salvador with her, well, this ability does not need to be very high, to be honest. I think level 6 will be fine just to get that 10% magic damage and potency for each prime member, because you know, this ability at level 7, it's really to buff out our boy Salvador in this team. At least that is how I see it. Yeah, she gets a boost in magical damage and potency, but it is really about you know, Salvador losing all his debuffs, Salvador getting 1 turn, you know, and all that. I think that is why this passive ability is so good. So this passive ability, level 7 if you plan to run Salvador with her, level 6 if you plan to not run Salvador with her. Now if we go with the third skill, Spirit of Cobra, give shield to herself and an ally with the lowest current health equal to 60% magical damage for each poison enemy, and inflict tenacity decrease to all enemies for 3 turns, inflict daze to all poison enemies for 3 turns, and inflict poison and critical chance decrease for 2 turns to all other enemies. So every enemies that did not get affected by the daze, I guess, that is actually you know, they are gonna get poison and critical chance decrease, which is actually pretty awesome. If you face Nessa, you have to bring Eric Shieldbreaker and make sure you can actually use the third skill from Eric before she actually get to use that third skill. Otherwise, you're not gonna make it long. Otherwise, if you have Arda, that can actually counter that a little bit, but she is pretty solid, guys. So unless you ability blocker right off the bat, then and might actually get a little problem, but this ability is so sick. And you know, if you drop this ability to level 5, you lose 10% shield, which is actually not that bad, because this ability is more about applying debuff. So 10% shield, we can deal with it, but the tenacity decrease in days lasts one less turn. So you can see here it's 2 turns instead of 3 turns, which is still solid, but I prefer to have the 3 turns in my personal opinion. But this is an ability that you can definitely live with at level 6. Very solid level 7, but level 6 is pretty solid too. Then you have the second skill, the Pillar of Life. Gain a 15% turn meter for each ally with full health, but no more than 75%. Heal all of her allies for 480% Nessa magic damage, and give all ally a shield equal to 30% of Nessa magical damage for each day's enemy. So if all the enemies are dazed, and well, you have a bunch of all enemy or days and use this ability, you're going to be able to get a bunch of shield, man. That is actually going to be quite crazy. I cannot wait to actually see that in action, to be honest. That is actually pretty interesting, because it's give all ally a shield equal of 30% of Nessa magic damage for each days enemy. So 30% multiply. For example, if you have 8 characters on the other side, and you know, because of summon and all of that, and you know, they all have days, it's 30% multiplied by 8, which will be 240% you know, shield. Well, 240%, yeah, shield. So that's actually 240% magical damage shield, pretty much. So that will actually be pretty crazy. So this is a very solid ability with a very intriguing mechanics. We're gonna have to take a look at how this mechanic work in action. Now this ability should be level 7, or it is fine at level 6. I think this ability should be level 7. 80% AoE healing plus 5% AoE shield multiplied by the amount of days target. This is definitely an ability, probably the most important ability to get to level 7 in my opinion. And then if we go with the basic ability here, Caustic Bite, deal 300% magic damage to an enemy if the target is poisoned. Deal an additional 60% magic damage through shield, inflict poison for 2 turns otherwise. And if you get this ability to level 6, It's not a big difference. It's it's still 50% magic damage through shield. So this ability at level 6 is totally fine. So overall, you have two abilities you might want to get to level 7. You have the ability number 2, which is the most important ability to get to level 7, and you have the passive ability. If you plan to run with Salvador, you need to get this ability to level 7. If you plan to not run with Salvador, well, the second skill is the only must-have ability to level 7, obviously. So next, guys, going to be taking a look at the runes and artifact, talk about the stats this character actually needs. This character pretty much needs as much potency as possible, and that is literally the only stats you're going to be caring about. Obviously, you want to shut down a shield too, because she's going to need to survive to be doing everything she is doing, and the higher her magic damage is, the better she's going to be too, because she's going to be doing more damage, more shielding, more healing. So is going to be very, very important. So here we went with 4 speed runes with 2 potency runes. Secondary stats, guys, you want to go with potency, you want to go with damage, main stats and secondary stats, by the way, primary and secondary, and you want to go with shield. Did I said potency and speed? Anyway, potency, speed, shield, and damage. That will be the 4 secondary stats that are the most important. Like we look quick here, we have speed, shield. This one we have shield. Not that great around, but that 32 speed was definitely worth it. 6 stars runes. We're trying to showcase those 6 stars runes a little bit too. Here we have a lot of speed as secondary, 13 speed. Here primary, shield primary with 4 speed. It's not the best, but that 24% shield here is very important. Here, shield primary with extra shield, which is great. Here, potency primary with speed, very, very important. And the total of stats we actually have on our guys is that we have 109,000 shield, 263 speed, and 123% potency. So you can see we try to get those stats as high as possible, and we have 4,487 magic damage. Obviously, we get to buy a lot of runes on the test server, so we can actually have a little bit better stats. But what the amount of stats you should be focusing as a normal player, you should be focusing on getting the shield as high as possible. There's no actual limit for the shield. You want to get 225 plus speed, you want to get 100% potency plus. Those are the very, very, very important stats, and break down the stats you actually need. Now, if we look at the artifact, guys, artifact, you want to go with the artifact that will give you potency and shield. There's a few artifacts that do so. The one we actually went with is Steel Leaf. 36% potency, 36% shield when it's fully leveled up at 5 stars. Level 30 and dealing damage increase potency by 1.5%, 4 times per battle. So this is pretty much the setup we went with her. Next, guys, we're going to be testing her out in both arena and tier 9 raid. Tier 9 raid, we're going to go with this this Pride team against phase 2. This is phase 2 is really the phase where I like to test my my teams. If the teams can score over 1 million damage into that phase 2 in tier 9 raid, I am pretty happy. So here we're gonna go in arena first, guys. There is actually one target I do want to try is Nelitex. You can see the power 196,000, and he is running at Nessa, Amara, and Eric Shellbreaker in this team. So that's actually going to be quite interesting to see how we can actually counter that. And you can see the power difference is minimal, only 7,000 power difference. So it is pretty minimal. So we're going to jump with this team. I did not try this team, facing this team yet. So we're going to see, and we're going to set that on the top because we want to see by itself, we really want to see by itself how this is actually going. And also the fact that Eric is there, it's really going to be affecting a lot of things on how she's playing. So I kind of want to see how she play against her. Here you can see both team has a shit ton of debuff here. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see how it's going to end. But those days lasting more than 3 turns is going to be very, very, very interesting here. but it looks like we are literally wrecking this. The fact that we have Wukong, which bring a lot of tanking minions, and we have Salvador, it actually gives us a huge advantage in taking less damage, in my personal opinion. So you can see so far we are literally owning this. They do not have Eric Shellbreaker anymore, and we wow, Vorian actually one-shotting stuff. That's actually pretty interesting to see now. This is not something we used to see from Vorian, so this is actually pretty damn interesting here. He does more damage if the target is affected by poison, which is great. So you can see here, if you run Nessa without the full Pride team, she is a lot weaker. The setup we have for her right now, us and her team, is, I'll have to say, it's pretty optimal in my personal opinion. If we look at, damage wise and shit, you can see here, Vorian was our top DPS. Yeah, guys, Vorian, top DPS. And we were running with a shit ton of debuff in our team too, so fighting Zira is going to be the same thing. We're going to be running with a lot of debuff, but we're going to be able to apply a lot of debuff too with a team like that, so that could actually be a very solid team. Now you have to take in consideration that was gear 13 versus gear 13 mostly. I think Eric 33,000 is gear 13, so it's gear 13 versus gear 13, so it is a fair match we were going against here. And you can see she did a lot of healing, 278,000 healing, so you can see a lot of healing here. So, and you can see Vorian top damage. That's the part I'm the most shocked. You pair Nessa with Vorian in a poison team, and Vorian is just gonna be doing some crazy work. So you have to kill Vorian first, guys. Otherwise, he's gonna be doing a lot of damage against you. If you bring him with a guy like a Wukong that brings like so many minions that have tout, it's gonna be very, very hard for you to actually kill Vorian. So that actually gives a huge advantage. So that was Arena, and in Arena, there's no meta teams we can actually fight here that we actually see on the live server, so we're not going to be able to do that. But the next thing we can actually do is jump in guild raid here, and actually test this team. And here, apparently, I cannot test this team right now, so we're gonna be finishing this video when this raid is actually over. But yes, guys, we're gonna be doing that like right now. Well, guys, we got ourselves a raid that's actually working now, so let's jump into phase 2, which is the Mega Wheel phase, and let's bring our Pride team out there, guys, and let's get the job done. So first, Nessa, the Lion King. This one, a Yogi, and then we're gonna go select Pride. That's gonna be much easier here. Boom and boom. So this is the team gonna be trailing out there, guys. 205,000 power, same as the Arena team. We're gonna manually target Mega Wheel, and we're just gonna be running it on autoplay and see if we can actually reach 1 million damage along the way. I think that's pretty much all we care about. If we can reach 1 million, maybe 2 million, that will be awesome. But we'll see, I guess. So we will see. Okay, so let's set the speed here. A lot of minion tanks is definitely going to be helping a lot here. And we're going to see. Also, we're going to be applying a lot of attack down probably at some point, which should definitely be helping us. But I want to see at least 10% damage here. This is always my mark, guys. If we do 10% damage, I'm actually pretty happy here. So far, this is looking pretty good. We have a good counterattack, closing on 3%. We didn't see anything special yet, though. We don't have, other than Vorian, we don't have any, huge damage dealer here. So it's actually quite interesting to see what we are going to be getting. But that extra shield as we are going to keep getting from Nessa is definitely going to be very, very, very nice. Cannot argue with that. And the shell on Salvador is going to make Salvador really, really hard to kill. Pretty much the only chance they have to win here. Well, they have to kill my team is huge AoE damage, but all those shields we get from Nessa is giving us a little bit more survivability here. The most stacks I actually seen on Mega Wheel, by the way, guys, for people wondering, is actually 28 stacks. I'm actually quite curious to see if we can actually get close to that. With critical chins down, a lot of attack down, and all that stuff, we might actually have a shot to see very high stacks here. So I'm actually quite interesting to see that. We're already closing on 15% damage, so this is actually pretty solid. I think they are actually doing better than the Orc team was doing. So it looks like Nessa is going to be something very huge. And you can see my Salvador is still not taking damage. Everybody is still alive. We should actually be able to do about 20% damage here. That's my guess with what's running so far. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But we're closing on 20%. Everybody is still alive. Will be nice to have an AoE heal ready though. I don't think so. But we just lost Vorian. So it's going to be interesting to see who's doing the most damage too. So 25 stacks, 26 stacks. That's going to be close to the 28 stacks. It's over 20% damage here. So it's actually pretty damn solid so far. We don't have many attacks left, but might be able to reach maybe 25% or close to 25%. So that's actually doing pretty damn well so far. Pretty damn well. And you can see having Salvador as a tank, even with Wukong, is actually quite useful. Having the Wukong to apply the attack down is actually quite useful to actually reduce the amount of damage we do take. So it's pretty nice. So we are down to 25% so far. We are still killing it. That is actually pretty quite crazy. We get close to die a few times here. Oh, there we go. I think that is going to be the end. Yes, Nessa is dead. Yogi is going down. The Salvador is dead too. So we reached 38 stack and reach stack on the boss. 26% damage. This is definitely pretty solid. I don't think I've ever seen a team that close to 2 million damage here against Miguel. Obviously, this is a full Gear 13 team, so it is to be expected to have a lot of damage. But let's take a look at this damage. Look at Vorian, 710,000 damage. This is very solid. We can now, I think we can openly say that Vorian got a huge upgrade. Now he can actually do damage and pair with Nessa, which is actually going to be outstanding. Yogi got a huge buff too, because you can see here all that Yogi damage, pretty close to that Vorian damage, which is pretty damn awesome. You can see we did 621,000 healing, which is like pretty solid too. So yeah, that is actually pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with this team. Definitely a team that's going to be able to do some decent work. And we all know that we love Prides. Prides is one of the most entertaining faction, at least for me. So having those Prides getting reworked, ability level 7, and Nessa coming out, especially today that we are talking about Nessa, is a great change. I think Nessa is bringing two characters that were really down the drain, Vorian and Yogi, to a brand new level. I think that is outstanding what she does with those two characters. But anyway, guys, this is pretty much all the content we had for today. Let me know, guys, in the comment section, know what you guys think about this Nessa characters and how she's affecting other Pride characters and becoming better characters in the game. So let me know in the comment section, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of my amazing community, and I will see you guys again in the next video. Thank you.